Okay, so to get to Clipboard, you need to go just open your course editor like you normally would to go add an activity or whatever. Then the easiest way, I think, to get to it is to go up here, hit Teacher App. This just makes everything more user-friendly in my opinion. You have all your classes here. You can go over here and go to these different tabs, and you can navigate classes this way instead of going back and forth and closing this tab and then going back to the SchoolsPLP thing. You can just stay in Buzz this way. And then you can hit Clipboard here, or you can just go up here to Clipboard. Sorry, I was playing with it. Here is where you can make an activity or choose an activity that you've already made, or go through the library or whatever you want to do, and assign it to multiple groups of students. So the grouping video shows how to make all these different groups. So like I said before, I put all of my students in a group. See, this is third period, whole class. It has everybody in it. Then there's a third period accommodations, and it has one student in it. I made these groups for this tool. It makes it 10 times easier to use. So it looks like you should be able to say, okay, I want it to go to first, fourth, fifth, third period up here, eighth period, but you can only do one. There's no, like, you can't click multiple courses for that to go to. So the way to get around that is to make groups. And it's another step, but I think once you do it one time, it'll make it easier. So for example, say I want to send out a handout that I made for my virtual kids, but I also want my traditional kids to get it too. I would go find where I uploaded it, this determining theme handout, hit preview, and here is the handout that I sent to my virtual kids, but I also want my traditional kids to get it. Add to cart, you can hit link or copy. Link, if you hit link, if you go and make changes to this document in any settings with it, then it'll change everywhere. If you just hit copy, you're going to have to go in each class and change the settings. So I always hit link because it's just easier. You just have to change it once if you need to. You can make it gradable if you want to. Then before you hit next, you have to choose what students you want to get this. So I can go back to my groups right here, and it shows you all of the groups that you've made and that you can choose. Up here, you can add just one student at a time, or if you just have to do a couple students, it might be easiest just to type that in. But for me, the groups made the most sense. So say I want all of my first period to get it, right? I would go first period, whole class. Okay, that's what it's called. I would just type it in right here. Period, whole class. Okay, and it adds all the students. And then say I want my eighth period to get it. Okay, then I would just go here and do the same thing. This is really helpful down here because it can kind of remind you who all's in it if you forget. So this is why I made the different groups and the whole class groups, because if I want to send it to every single one of my classes, I can just type in first, second, third, and just click that, and all the students will be added. Then say I want my students in virtual with an IEP to get it, right? You just add the group name, IEP, virtual, non. Okay, then they're added. Then you can hit next. Right here, it'll ask you where you want this to go on their SchoolsPLP when they see it. So you can pick a folder you want it to be in, just the title of the folder. It shows all the folders that are visible to the students. It won't show any of the hidden ones. Then you can set a due date if you want to. Hit next. Then this is the gradebook settings. So like I said, like you're still editing every class and every gradebook, but it's all at one time and all on one screen. So you edit all these just like you would any of the other assignments. And then you can hit next and then assign. And then it sends whatever you just made to all of these students.